Welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever seen your mom pull something out of the refrigerator, smell it, and then throw it away? Have you ever heard her say, "This has gone bad"? What does it mean when food goes bad? Did it make a bad choice in the refrigerator? Say something mean to one of the other foods? Did it hit an apple? How can a food go bad? And how do you know when a food is good? I was thinking about this question because I got an email from a curious kid named Ian. He wondered, why do things get old when we don't eat them? When food goes bad, that means that it has started to spoil. Spoiling happens when tiny living things called microorganisms, can you say microorganisms? When microorganisms start to grow on the food. These include bacteria, molds, and yeasts. You can't see them at first, but they're everywhere. In the air, on our hands, and even on clean surfaces. When food is fresh, it's full of nutrients like proteins and fats and sugars. Those nutrients are exactly what bacteria and mold love to eat. As they start munching away, they release chemicals that change the smell, taste, and texture of the food. Have you ever seen mold growing on a piece of bread? Or maybe a tomato on your counter that suddenly had a really gross, icky spot on it? That means the food's going bad. But not all bacteria is bad. Some bacteria actually helps create foods like yogurt or cheese or pickles. The difference is that those bacteria are controlled. They grow in just the right way to make the food safe and tasty. When food goes bad, though, it's uncontrolled bacteria doing whatever they want, and that can make us sick. Now, let's talk about how food spoiling actually happens. Have you ever noticed that when your parents put leftovers in the refrigerator, they put them in a sealed container of some sort? Maybe a Tupperware or a Ziploc bag or a glass container. That's not just to keep it organized, it's to keep things from going bad. See, the process of spoiling starts when air, moisture, and warmth reaches the food. That gives microorganisms the perfect environment to grow. Bacteria grows super fast when it's warm, but much slower in the cold. That's why we keep foods in the refrigerator. It slows down their growth. Freezing food slows it even more, almost like hitting a pause button. That's why foods in the freezer can last a really long time. Some foods last much longer than others. For example, dry foods like rice and beans and pasta, they don't go bad quickly because they don't have as much water. Bacteria and mold need moisture to grow, but foods with lots of water like fresh fruits and vegetables and meats, they spoil way faster. The foods that spoil quickly, like fresh produce and milks and meats, they're usually the most nutritious. That's because they're packed with vitamins and minerals that living organisms, like us, need. And so you've got to eat them while that stuff is still good. So next time you see mold on bread or smell sour milk or realize that tomato on the counter is, just needs to be thrown away now. Remember, didn't make a choice to be bad. It's just nature doing its thing. Microorganisms are recycling that food, breaking it down so its nutrients can return to the earth. That's pretty amazing when you think about it. Did you know that honey almost never goes bad? Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. Honey doesn't spoil because it has very little water and special natural chemicals that keep bacteria away. That's why you can buy honey in such big containers, because it can just sit there forever. Well, maybe not forever, but for a really long time. Clearly thousands of years. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. What are the tiny living things that make food go bad? They're called microorganisms, things like bacteria, mold, and yeast. Why do we keep food in the refrigerator? Because cold temperatures slow down bacterial growth. And what kind of foods usually spoil the fastest? Fresh foods like fruits and vegetables and dairy, things with lots of water and nutrients in them. All right, let's play true or false. True or false? All bacteria are bad for you. That is false. Some are helpful and make foods like yogurt and cheese. True or false? Bread molds faster when it's left in a warm, damp place. That's true. Warmth and moisture help mold grow. One more. True or false? Canned foods go bad quickly. That's false. It lasts a long time because no air or bacteria can get in. Okay, would you rather have a fridge that keeps food fresh forever or a refrigerator as big as an entire room? All right, this one is tough because if I had a refrigerator as big as an entire room, that would be a lot of food that I needed to eat before it goes bad. And the refrigerator would help it not go bad so quickly, but still, the food will eventually go bad in the refrigerator, and I can't eat an entire room full of food. I think I'm just going to go with the regular size fridge that keeps food fresh forever. That's my choice. What about you? Okay, let's play What Am I? What am I? I'm cold enough to stop bacteria from growing. I'm even colder than a refrigerator. I can even keep ice cream solid. What am I? I am a freezer. All right, one more. What am I? I'm sticky. I don't really ever go bad. And I'm made by insects. What am I? Yep, that would be honey. Okay, I'm going to name some foods, and you tell me, does that food go bad fast or slow? Are you ready? Do strawberries go bad quickly or slowly? Quickly. They're full of water and sugars that bacteria love. What about canned soup? Does it go bad quickly or slowly? Slowly. The can keeps air and bacteria out. What about bananas? Do they go bad quickly or slowly? Yep. Real quick. They ripen fast and then they get brown and mushy. You can always tell when a banana is about done. What about dry rice? Does that go bad quickly or slowly? Slowly. No moisture means bacteria can't grow easily. And what about eggs? Quickly or slowly? Yep, quickly, especially if they're left out of the fridge. So, food going bad isn't really about being bad, it's about natural recycling. Microorganisms break down foods the same way they break down leaves in the forest. That's how the world keeps reusing nutrients over and over again. Isn't that amazing? What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And for all the grown-ups listening, don't forget that the Curious Kids Club launches on November 1st. Go to supportcuriouskids.com for more information. And please visit CuriousKidsEveryday.com to get a free printable with activity ideas that don't involve screens. Those are the best kinds of adventures to have. That's CuriousKidsEveryday.com. See you tomorrow.